Hello, we are live. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jennifer. So glad to
Hello.
be here. Welcome, everyone, to our show today, where we're going to talk about our insights from the future and what came through the session that Jennifer and I did exploring the future 100 years ahead and some of the insights that came through, including technology and the ways that changes consciousness, telepathy. There's a bit about Egyptian and Atlantis connections. So a lot of fun stuff and a lot of really interesting stuff. If you guys haven't seen the full session, make sure you go and check that out. It's on both of our channels. You can find it pretty easily. And this is a part of our Future Vision series that we're doing together, where we're trading off, taking turns going to the future and looking into different things and different happenings. So it's been really fun. So this was our part 2. So go and find that if you haven't watched the full one. Yeah. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Jake. I'm a hypnotherapist, a quantum guide, and I use hypnosis in my practice to help my clients in a variety of ways. And then sharing some of those insights, breakthroughs, transformations with you guys. And I'm joined by Jennifer Taylor of 108 Healing Senses. So Jennifer, you want to introduce yourself and share anything you'd like?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it really concise because I'm trying something new. Going with my tagline. So I consider myself a future vision guide, but in every single respect, using future vision, what we both have learned from Anne Jersh. And I'm also a gardener as well by day, which I love. It's so grounding and I get so much wisdom and insight from all of it. And I would say conscious creator, including the podcast, being a podcaster, and love the fact this is our new series together, Jake, and it feels really cool being able to venture into the future, especially with someone that you trust, and it's a good space to be in. And we never know what's going to really come to us in that moment. We might have little nudges in the direction, but it's really interesting what has come through so far. So I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you brought up the plants, because the plants also came up in our session, and the ways that they can support us, the ways that they're aiding us in this transformational moment as we move towards that future that we're building. And before we dive into everything, I like to always remind people that the future is not set in stone. Anything that we see, anything that we delve into, these are possibilities. These are options that are available to us. And so when we're looking into different timelines, this isn't about telling you this is what's going to happen and this is how it's going to happen. This is helping you to understand the energies and the ways that the future might express itself for us. And as Jennifer and I know, in the work that we do with the quantum, what we do in the present affects the past, affects the future, affects the present. And so with all of that, everything that we're doing in this now moment is affecting forward and backwards in the linear time. And so if there's anything that you're like, oh, wow, I didn't think that would be the way that it was, or, oh, I wonder if it could be, a different way. It could. There's lots of possibilities. And our goal with this is always connecting with our higher selves and using that anchor to tap into the highest potential, the highest probability, and really get the information that is going to help us in the present and not lead us down paths that we aren't interested in going down, right? So
no rabbit holes here. And I really want to have that as this is a space where we are grounded as well as elevated with what we are venturing into, which means that we're not fear-mongering and our attentions really are in the absolute highest for humanity to live their best possible lives and evolve with the most amount of grace and joy along the way. So that certainly is, I feel you share that too, Jake, but that's something that we both carry. It's nothing intentionally negative here. It's only and it is actually the same in our future vision sessions. If anything comes up that may feel uncomfortable, it is also an opportunity to look at yourself and see where you can change things here in the now, or just to be prepared, or just to know and observe it, but be non-attached to it. Whatever happens will happen, and just to carry on your highest path, being purposeful and kind in life. And I mean, you're here in this space, you're with us, so you're in great company.
Right. I'm assuming we've got some good vibes in the crowd. I know that those people that I interact with and that I get to know in the chats, we've got good energy here. And I certainly I enjoy a good rabbit hole. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy a good rabbit hole. And I think that there's definitely room and space for those sorts of explorations. But especially when we're looking at sharing this type of information, I think the future can be something that is a little frightening, or can be scary, can be, uncertainty, unknown is oftentimes places where we as humans have those emotional reactions. And so it's really about helping to dream and vision in the best way. Like you said, finding that highest timeline, that best possible timeline. And I think that we need a lot of that at this now moment, tapping into the positive, because I think there are a lot more people focused on, and I shouldn't say a lot more people, but there definitely are a lot of people, and I feel like the mainstream narrative pushes the negativity, it pushes the fear, because it's profitable. When people are scared, they're usually clicking, they're usually staying. Like the fear frequency is something that really gets preyed upon. And so, anyway, long tangent there.
But I actually wanted to add,
yeah.
And this is for anyone out there listening to anyone. It could be an individual, a group, or whatever it might be. If they're constantly and consistently pushing fear, there is always two sides to the coin, and there is always that gray area. There's a whole spectrum of light. It's not just one or the other. So if people are continuously taking you down a rabbit hole of fear, then know that they are harvesting your energy, and by taking your attention and distracting you away from the things that truly do matter, which you can find nuggets and wisdom in this series as to how to be the better version of yourself in every moment, and keep aligning to love, whatever that might look like. So I wanted to add that, because I've been really feeling that lately, and just people rhetoricing fear out, and it's just so unnecessary. But if you fall for the trap, then you're going to get harvested. So get informed.
Yeah. And there was one particular comment from your future self when we were exploring that has stuck with me, and I've thought about it a few times. It's this idea of taking responsibility for your energy, for your thoughts, for your what's yours, and then giving back what isn't yours, giving that energy, that negativity, whatever it might be, that isn't serving you, that isn't for your best and highest good, giving that back. You don't need to take that on. And I think a lot of times with the fear stuff, and it's not even that, like, it's very insidious. They have little bits of truth in there. They have little bits that are meant to hook you and feel genuine, but then it's like, what's the feeling underneath this? What's the energy and the vibe underneath this? And I think that we have a responsibility to take responsibility for our energy and to direct it where we want it to go. And if you are like us, wanting to build a better, brighter future, if you're looking to create that dream that I think a lot of us feel, right? Where are you putting your energy? Where are you putting your focus? And you said it so well there, Jennifer. So yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah, I feel I had this, what was coming to me before we came on today. And the new world is actually about revealing what has been veiling everyone up until this point. So when you step into the new world, really, it's you have eyes and heart wide open to see the truth and honest facts as they are, and also being okay with it by detaching from other people's stories and dramas and trauma loops. That's it's like energy harvest, energy predators. That's a phrase that came to me the other week, and it was, you'll see it in the things around you, so you have to ensure that you're not being preyed upon. Like, choose what is best for you right now, and it could just be turning the TV off. and then turning us on and then watching the other episodes. I joke, but it's true, because it's helping you align to what is the best, that your highest possible version from the future, telling you now, hey, go down this path, get steered towards this path, which is always in the frequency of love, and you're going to arrive in this place of acceptance and telepathy and heart communication with the world around you, because you have the discernment, because you've gone inwards and you're not taking other people's stories on as your own, and that includes fear.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and we're not, we're not.
Thanks, Dusty.
Like, what am I trying to say? Jennifer and I are just two humans too, trying to figure this out, right? And so anything that we say as well, use your own discernment, use your own inner knowing and your own connection to your higher self to suss out what's true for you and what's best for you, because maybe what we say doesn't resonate for you, or maybe that's not where you're at right now, and that's totally okay. And that was another beautiful message that came through from the future when we were diving in last couple weeks ago, was we're all on our own journey. We're all going at our own pace, and it's right for us. And so, you might have a different perspective or a different idea or a different viewpoint of things, and that's okay. You're where you're at. And if you do, please share it in the comments. Let us know. We're definitely two people who appreciate the conversation, appreciate the dialogue. And I think that we've all got a piece of the puzzle, and the more that we can talk and connect and share, we start to put that puzzle together a little bit more.
Yeah, it's exciting. And it's about meeting hearts that resonate. And just like Jake said, and there'll be other people that you'll listen to and be like, oh, I resonated with that. Didn't resonate with that so much. And then you just learn to like pick things up, put them down, take them with, evolve them, and just know that nothing ever stays the same. And who you are now wasn't who you were 5 minutes ago, let alone 5 years ago. So there's so much acceptance, inner acceptance on this journey, that you start to become okay with people behaving as they are, because it's like, well, they are where they are. They can't go any faster than how that the speed that they are going at. So you have to be okay with people having their own experiences. I'm still feeling the flow from the future of what was coming through then, and this is more to it. Is that it's learning to be okay, learning for non-judgment. Hard to say, hard to practice, but you do eventually get there. But it does start with yourself, and then you have that consideration and compassion for others because you've mastered it.
And I think that we're all learning that in different ways. And I think so much of the external focus of our now moment, this pull to get you out of yourself, to get you in other people's opinions, other people's energy, other people's narratives. It's like that tells me like it's so important to go inward. It's so important to reconnect with yourself, and we'll get more into that as we kind of unpack some of what this session had to offer us as far as insights and information. But that need to return to your own connection and building that trust, that love, that acceptance, that non-judgment for yourself, and that will ripple outwards.
Yeah, and that's where peace is. I say this because I've had the experience of it. I've had arduous years of negotiating with my with my inner turmoil and turning it into something that I am in a space of peace. And I'm also finding the things that really are my vibe, like the gardening. It's an addition to what the other things that I do. It's not separate. It is part of me. And that uniqueness that we all individually have, the kinks and the quirks that we all individually experience or are drawn to, they are expressions of our of the experiences that we want to have.
Yeah. Which, speaking of experiences that we want to have, let's dive into it. Let's start. Not that we haven't already been unpacking, but let's unpack a little bit, because one of the main themes that I was surprised came through was telepathy, and the ways that changes and evolves, and the ways that it affects us in different ways, in our world, and our interactions with each other, our interactions with the natural world, with the animals, with the plants. And so I thought it was so interesting the ways that you were seeing this as a high tech consciousness, as like a as almost like Wi-Fi. I think you described it like Wi-Fi, but for our minds, and that interconnectedness, that direct connection between humans, and non-humans as well, was really interesting. And I know that there's a lot of people now who yearn for this openness, for this ease of communication. I know myself, like I struggle with my words sometimes, and especially with like complicated like emotions, or like tough like mental stuff. It's just sometimes so hard to put it into words. And the idea that we could connect and like share that directly, it just feels so much more natural. It feels so much more effective. And so I was really excited to hear about this. And I know that I've had quite a bit of like amplification and growth in my own telepathic abilities, in ways that, having the same thoughts as other people, or saying the same thing at the same time, having a thought and then Corbin like coming in and saying it to me. It's like it's been in more subtle ways than like a direct necessarily like sentence back and forth. But I think that our concepts of telepathy are a little warped, and I think some of that is due to like misrepresentations of it in media, and the ways that it's kind of hyped and kind of sensationalized. But you saw it really as like this very natural thing. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, Jennifer, on what came through, or what you're thinking about right now, in regards to this information.
Yeah, what was coming through when you were speaking was, firstly, more of our DNA strands will be activated. That also comes with our ET family. So that hybridization, there has to be a certain level of consciousness, and the vibration has to be high enough even for that to be in existence, because our ET friends are vibrating at a higher resonance. That's what the different frequencies are, with depending on how you're feeling, how you're experiencing time, all synchronicities. The lower frequencies, 3D, when it's just 3D, mundane. 4D is very like you're in your mental world. Like if you think a lot, people, if they got their channels nice and clear, they'll be able to manifest. And higher than that, we can still have higher frequency experiences in this body, but as time goes on and as we evolve energetically, whatever the other ways, it might be more solar flares as well. I think also that's part of why our senses are coming more online now. The veil is being stripped away even more. More is being revealed to us through our senses. I've been having similar experience to you, Jake. It's becoming like doing a lot more jinx and those kinds of things. You're hearing, you're thinking, there's like having same dinner at the same time, or whatever it might be, or what to do next. So it really is a good, solid, natural, graceful. I don't know at what point it all starts really pluming off, but I do have a feeling with the children, and also what I have read recently about the babes that are coming in after 2012, and particularly after 2020, very, very high consciousness. So they're just coming with like no BS filters. They anything that was old world, they just don't resonate with. They're not in that frequency. So there'll be more of that. We'll be developing. It's an interesting time. But again, I as we even saw when we went to the future, not everyone is in that state. those that chose not to forgive or accept or be in non-judgment were still angry and roaming the earth, feeling even more disconnected and disjointed from reality and not liking what they were seeing. So there are still choice points for people, but ultimately, if you're choosing an inner path to love yourself deeply at a real deep soul level, forgive yourself, forgive those that have hurt you, and you can do that in whatever way that you need to and take however long that needs to happen. But through that forgiveness and through also doing things like cord cutting, which both me and Jacob do, that's a very powerful thing, especially if you've got relationships in your life. You're like, oh God, I just can't shake this person and they are so toxic. And, you know, it could be a family member, mother, father, sister, brother, could be whatever, it doesn't matter. But there are all these kind of energetic ties from the past. So until we start getting into the real good stuff, you also have to cleanse a lot of the old stuff, or just learn to release it, learn to let it go. It's not yours to hold. Return to sender in full, back to source.
Mm-hmm.
That source can then decide what to do. You know, I'm not the one to say you should do this or that. I was like, I'm just returning it back to source, and I'll give it back to source to then figure out what to do with it, because I feel like that's my most balanced way for me personally when I'm doing and every day I do energy clearings and, well, you know, whenever I need it, but it's near enough. Clear the cobwebs from your mind, release the distractions, external distractions, and all of that energy and focus and force that you get riled up on someone else or a movement or a momentum of something, which actually, if you were to just take your magnifying glass on it, you would realize actually the magnifying glass is now shining back at you, and there's a part of you that hasn't fully healed from a previous trauma, and that could be this lifetime, it could be past lifetimes. So that's why they're doing this spiritual, energetic, physical well-being, detoxification, you know, all the things that you may or may not already be doing. Just living your life with a kind heart, with an open heart, not having a shut down heart. All of these things will assist you in elevating your frequency, in reclaiming your soul fragments, in reclaiming your power and your energy back from people and stories that are totally redundant and are currently stopping you from moving forwards. But you have to release them. Release them now. Choose to release them. Give them back to source to deal with. And then return all of your energy, all of your love, all of your soul light back to you now in full with love. That's the process I do for myself.
Yeah.
I give back all that is yours to source. I take back all that is mine with love.
Mm-hmm.
Say that, repeat it as many times as you need until you feel better. And do that whenever you need. It's a small pocket mantra of energy light work that you can do, and it's not woo. And I promise you, if you do it enough, you'll keep feeling better and better, and you'll be releasing and removing any relationships that are redundant. And it is already naturally happening right now with the energies. Is as the frequency goes up with all the astrological things that are going on, and you and Corbin do such a great job with your shows as well, explaining what's happening, and I feel it, and it's flowing through my reality and the people around me, and I'm seeing it all play out. Is this is the time of just getting real clear about streamlining your life. Get rid of the noise, get rid of the distractions, and really get your focus and attention on the things that you want to build. And what do you want to build this year? Not just like 5 years time or 10 years time. Like start making choices and taking actions and following through. That is what self-mastery looks like. That's how we start activating all of our senses in a grounded, graceful manner. So you're not getting an overload of psychic because your chakras are too open and you're not grounded. You want to have a nice, steady, aligned body, balanced, and it will help you wherever you are on your journey. Sorry, I went on a bit there.
We're following the flow. I love
it. Through.
No, absolutely. And I really think it needs to be said, because this future that we're tapping into, these visions that we're looking to manifest, it starts now. And I think that was something that I was really curious about, especially as we were asking and delving into the telepathy. It's like, you know, I want to say your future self gave like a cautionary, like, you know, watch what you're thinking, or you better watch out for what you're thinking, because the manifestation happens so much faster because you are connected in such a deep way. And with the telepathy, you know, there's an interconnectedness, and there's not the same level of like privacy in the ways that we look at it right now. And I was curious, and I dug in to see, like, okay, how do we manage that? Like, how do we manage that transition? Like, how does that happen in a way that doesn't like destroy the world, or like cause, you know, horrible, you know, you think about some of like the fears around telepathy of like deepest, darkest secrets like exposed. And I really thought it was beautiful, the ways that they spoke about not only like the natural unfolding as the frequencies raise, as we start to move towards it. Like there definitely is like this training period, and I think we're in that right now, where we're starting to get more insight, more downloads around what these gifts and then these natural abilities can be and will be. And it's our responsibility in this moment to start working with that in whatever way feels right for you, whatever way you're feeling called to. And so, you know, Jennifer, you talked about clearing the cobwebs, like getting rid of the distraction. You know, I think so much of our modern world is distraction, and so much of the bullshit that they tell you that you need to do, or that you should do, that, you know, there's multiple layers and levels to this, but thinking about your energy and where you want to put it, like, this has been a big lesson for me personally. And so I've been learning this for a moment now, and I continue to learn it in deeper and deeper ways. But like, where are you putting your energy, and is it feeding your dreams, or is it feeding someone else's? Like, are you, you know, for example, social media is something that I've just been like trying to figure out my place in, because there's the systems and the ways that they want you to play the game, and they want you to do this, that, and the other thing to like optimize and like make it the best. And yet for me, I'm like, I really think that authenticity is important. I need to feel like my messages are me. I need to feel like my what I'm sharing is coming from me. And so I think that there's so many different ways and different facets and different like levels to this preparatory work as we dream of this future, as we move towards this future of expanding our gifts, of expanding our connectedness. And we're not doing it alone, because there was the mention of the ET support in this, which was cool to have come through again in a different way. Because again, if you guys haven't seen part 1 of our series, go check that out. I went to the future, Jennifer guided me, and I was seeing specifically like with building materials and some of like the technology side of things that the ET, our ET brothers and sisters came in and assisted us a little bit, helped us out with that. And we know that this has happened in the past. There are a lot of different examples of this in a lot of different cultures, but you saw this coming in also as beyond just like things or like technology. This was like helping us in a consciousness way. And I think a lot of the community, I know a lot of people that I speak with, we talk about the ways that we feel that connection, we feel that support, we feel that that exchange. And I think that it's starting in more like I see it just ramping up. I see that support and that assistance ramping up as we move forward, because there really is like this coming together. And even just before the show, I'm being reminded of a social media post I saw about this retreat center, and they were talking about the bit that stuck out to me was they were talking about how as a team they've been able to build so much more. They've as a community, as like a group of people, they've been able to build something that's bigger than any one of them, and more sustainable and more like healthy and balanced. And I think that, and this is just coming to me, like I feel like the individualism of the past, like it's not that we are going to devalue individualism, but it's a remembering of the value of community. It's a remembering of the values of working together, and that's not just humans. That's beyond, and we'll get into the animal kingdom and the plants too. But I think that, and it's not that there aren't people that do value that, but I think especially in the Western world, and as we know, there's been a little bit of like a push from the Western world to like get their ideology everywhere. And there's such a hyper focus on like doing it yourself and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and like making this happen, and like on your own. And sure, like there's value in self-sufficiency and like, taking responsibility, but recognizing the support you have, I think is an important piece, and something that keeps coming through as we tap into this future. And so I think that bears mentioning, that bears, touching on again. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Jennifer?
As with everything, if the individual is healthy and balanced, and you have a collective or a community of also healthy and balanced individuals, there's trust there, because they've learned to trust themselves. They've learned to also discern who they can trust and have around them. This is where an effective, creative, constructive, and solution-based groups will succeed. That's why it's really important, like critical, that we all individually do our own inner work.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your discernment's cloudy, because what you think is intuition is really a past trauma, warning your nervous system, hey, don't go here, it's dangerous, but actually it is okay, or the hey, don't do that is because you'd have to drop an old identity, an old story. And if people aren't ready to do that, then they'll just keep living the same. They'll just be there in 100 years' time, angry and walking around, pacing around the cities. So absolutely, it all starts with I. Then it's really starts getting busy and exciting and productive with we. But I truly believe that I must be sovereign. That's ultimately the aim of the game, I see. Because when you have that, you know your emotions, you know how to process. You also see things for how they are, not for what you're projecting onto situations. Or also, if you have got psychic abilities coming online, also ensuring that you are protecting your energy as well, because just because your psychic things are coming online and you start hearing things doesn't necessarily mean that we just need to ensure that things are in the highest, in love, in source frequency. That's what protects us. That's what keeps aligning us to the truth, what is true. I actually can't remember what you what you asked, other than about communities, and they are incredibly important. Yeah. But we must start with the I. We must, otherwise we'll just keep wasting time. But the new earth is us building, because people are waking up. They want solutions. They want to feel better for themselves, for their families. They want financial stability. They maybe want to start working for themselves because they're sick of jobs or industries like collapsing before their eyes or changing at such a rapid speed that they now need to consider, hey, I probably need a career move, or hey, actually maybe I want to peek into my own best possible future, which again we can me or Jake or any other future vision practitioner can take you to see what are the steps that I need to take now in order to affect my future. But we can do that even in the smallest of choices that we make in the day, like rather than have the 6th coffee with caramel and marshmallows and cream, you'd be like, maybe I'll have a water or a herbal tea. Or like, do you know what I mean? With making conscious decisions also helps to elevate your frequency. And the gifts that we speak of, like having more clairsentience, or clairsentience is the feeling, clairaudience is hearing, clairvoyance is seeing, those things start coming online naturally, but also in times of trauma that can happen too. Then your psychic abilities start to hypervigilance, which can also create distorted perceptions of reality. That is a thing. People don't really talk about that, but this, mental health and spiritual awakening are so closely hand in hand that you must stabilize and ground yourself. Otherwise, this is how people get taken to mental asylums. Back in the day, no, they were just waking up. But it happens now. Give them a shaman. Help them to honor their gifts, but also be able to channel them and to protect themselves. And again, I think this is also the realm that we're in, is to awaken people to the fact that these things are real. Gifts do come online. Sometimes, maybe not in the best possible ways, but sometimes they do. But often you're not going to get what you can't handle or be able to develop. You will only be gifted that if you're ready. And sometimes you might need a quick wake up initiation start, which I've had a few of them, and it kind of completely ruins your world. But in order to live your best possible life, sometimes old stories and people and situations and environments need to change in order for you to truly step into who you really are.
Absolutely. And hello, everyone in the chat. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in, Corbin and Stephanie. Good to see you. And I saw you, Lisa. Good to see you as well. Thanks all for joining us. I was over in my banners tab and then I was like, oh, wait, there's comments. Hello. Before we dive into that, our next little bit, I wanted to remind y'all that I've got my dragon event coming up, and tickets are available for this guided journey. We're doing this on the 222 portal and 6 p.m. Central Time. So I'm sorry to all y'all in the UK. It's going to be the middle of the night for you. But if you are interested, you can always do the replay and still get the same benefits out of it with maybe a little less call and response and that community piece. But the journey itself will still be really cool. So I've just been feeling the call to connect with the dragons, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So tickets are available. I think I have a link down below. If not there, I mean, you can find them on my site. And then I did also want to pull up and remind you guys to head on over to Jennifer's site if you would like to learn more about her practice and connect with her on any of the future visioning experiences. This really is about helping you to tap into your best possible future. And as someone who's been guided by Jennifer, she asks wonderful questions, just a beautiful, intuitive guide for these experiences. So I definitely encourage you go on over there. And then I also pop up. Sorry, juggling all of my screens. Wanted to pop up my website as well. Our website, I should say, because while it may still say Ray of Light Hypnosis at the top, you guys will see that astrology services are here. So you can go and see Corbin's offerings and learn more about readings with Corbin as well. And also, obviously, my stuff is on there as well. Cool.
Oh, lovely. That's
Isn't
great.
it?
Well done.
It's been something that, like, I don't know, we started things at a little bit of a different pace, and it was like, well, how much do we need to have things individualized and websites and SEO and all this? The more that we've gotten into it, it's like, no, we're working together, like in a personal sense and a professional sense. And there's just so many ways that both monetarily and also like logistically, it just makes so much sense for us to merge our stuff. And so Ray of Light will eventually become a collective, and we're kind of in the process of shifting and moving things there. But it's been really fun. It's been really fun to put the pieces together, and it feels more natural, you know.
Good. And you know what? That's love in action. Is you and Corbin coming? You know, true partnership. Coming, like working together, bringing love into the world, bringing informed information for people to make, have discernment and come to their own conclusions about their own lives and what's happening. So, bravo! Like,
Thank you.
I love it.
doing what we can, and I think that, like you said, that is. I think all of our responsibilities is doing that in your way, is finding your way to spread love and to bring that light into the world, and finding those little ways to affect the reality around you, because you know, with so much of the narratives and the fear stuff that's going around, it's about things that are happening out there. It's not about what's here. And so the more that you can recognize, okay, what's mine, what's not mine, you can step more into that love frequency and spread that light in an easier way. And it's not that the stuff out there isn't happening in some way, shape, or form, but is it yours? Is it yours to deal with? Is it yours to solve or fix or
bear.
worry about? Sorry, what was that?
Yeah. Is it yours to bear? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, do you need to be having it weighing down on your shoulders? Or can you just let it go and trust that source? And if you do have inspired action to problem solve or be be part of the solution, go for that as well. But also knowing when to step away is very powerful, or when to create. So, you know, individual.
Mm-hmm. The creation piece, though, oh my gosh, like when everything and everyone is telling you that you must consume and you need more and you need more things, it's like, do the opposite. Go and put something out into the world, create something, like use that fire inside of you to like create. And I mean, like, oh my gosh, I'll just show off some of Corbin and I's newest creations. Here, can I get me a little bit bigger? So this is a coaster. So it's a water charging plate. And so I just, set my water cup on it. It's got copper in there, aluminum metals, and rutilated quartz, as well as metal flakes in the bottom. But the orgonite technology is, I think, something that is going to be coming more and more into the awareness, because it really is, it's technology, but it is like, it's energetic. It works on a deeper level than other things. And I've noticed the difference in drinking the water that I have on this. Like, it tastes better. It tastes
alive.
Yeah, it really does. Like it's just so much more flavorful, which is just so cool, that something as simple as that. And I won't get into all of like what it all of like the bits and pieces about the organites. Go watch our shows on organites. But I feel like that creation piece, like we need to do more of that. Each of us needs to do more of that. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Like,
no.
If we wanted perfection, we'd go make a computer do it, and it's going to lack the soul. It's not going to have that human aspect to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There will be a huge resurgence. Everyone's still kind of getting on the AI train, but authenticity and just being your creative, unique self, flaws and all, that's what people truly will desire more of, because there'll be so much AI. They'll be just like, oh, can you just give me some human stuff, please? And chuck in some human error as well. It's great. I know it's not written by AI. So if you're dyslexic, go for it. Don't feel, oh, everything needs to be perfect. You've got to put commas in there. Just get it out.
Mhm.
And this is also a way of breaking old stories. I can't do this, I shouldn't do that. If you want to, if your heart is truly desiring it and you're being pulled in a certain direction consistently, no, that is also whispers from your higher self, which also can be one of your guides,
Mhm.
as to what your next best play at, what your next best thing to do, to play, to whatever it might be. Yeah, they look beautiful. That coaster looks amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been really fun. It's been really fun. And I know that you guys will experience that for yourselves. And I'm sure a lot of you are being creative and you're doing that in your own ways. But if you're not, or if you're not doing it regularly, like, highly encourage that, because it really does. I mean, that creativity is, it's our birthright. It's like what we are meant to do. Like we are creator beings, um, the higher self connection was one of those things that came through in the future session, and I think that we're practicing that now. We're building that bridge now, and I think the work that you and I do in helping people to connect with this part of themselves is a part of that. But this isn't something that's gatekept. This isn't something that you need either of us to do. This is your connection to yourself. Your connection to your higher self is something that you innately have. Like it is there now. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't recognize it, it's there. And in the future, we saw that higher self connection was constant. It was like there was no separation. And I can see the ways that we are shifting and moving towards that. Like I see that in my interactions with clients. I see that in my interactions with Corbin. We had a session one time where his higher self said, "You talk to me more often than you think." And so I've started to like notice those moments when there is kind of that subtle switch, and like he gets into the flow state and he's just like saying these profound things, and I'm like, there it is. There's this higher self coming through, and so it's really it's such an exciting time to be alive. And yet if you look at the mainstream media, they'll tell you it's the worst time and everything's horrible and the world's burning, and it's like, is that though? Is that true?
Just inverse it. If what do they say? If a tree falls in a forest but nobody hears it, does that mean the tree didn't fall? I mean, just think about that for the news. Just switch it off. Switch it off, especially if it's doing your head in.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've
Limit it at least.
one of my favorite like paradigm shifts that I've had recently, and Corbin and I have been listening to very little of other people's things. There's one particular channel that we've been diving down, but anyway, they were talking about the 2D world and the ways that the screens are the 2D, and the true matrix is behind the screens. Like it's not that we're living in a matrix. The matrix is that altered, fake, false reality behind the screens. And the more that you can, and it is really funny, right? Because we're on screens right now. We're like, the only way that Jennifer and I would have connected is like through screens,
but we have crystals.
But it's about understanding the balance. And I think that there is absolutely beautiful ways that the technology and the connections, like it is beautiful, but we aren't going to need that same technological connection when we're connected telepathically. We aren't going to need the same, like it feels almost like a stopgap or like a training wheels, and I think that there's multiple different ways that it's being used, and that the technology and such, like it's not just good or just bad. I think it's so much more nuanced than that. And yet, what is it doing to your energy? How do you feel after you engage with it? And really like prioritizing the real world, prioritizing like your 3D reality. And, Jennifer, you're talking about the gardening and like getting out in nature and connecting with people, connecting with the plants, connecting with the world around you. Like I've been hearing from so many people, clients and like friends, like who are feeling this call, like being pulled into their real world after a really long time of just being online. And like, I think this is part of that rebalancing and like remembering.
Yeah, there was something that it came to me, and then I forgot to say it earlier about the conscious tech. You know how Star Trek, how they have, their their computer that you talk to, and then it helps you do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was the feeling that was coming to me again. Was that it really is there? The conscious technology is there to assist you, but it's not there to distract you. It's there to help you live a better life and to help you create and to bring your inspirations into reality. So there's a lot more of that, and other technologies that are coming to help purify the world as well. I think if that's also another thread that's coming through now. I can feel it. So there will also be tech to help clean up the planet. That's part of this. Again, I put this to everyone who listens. I do litter picking as well. And actually, I've realized if everyone were to just pick one thing up, if they were out, rather than expecting someone else, a cleaner, to pick it up, you pick it up, put it in the bin. Small micro things. If everyone starts doing these small considerations for one another, for your community, for your neighbors, for your family, for yourself, this is where big changes happen. But it's the consideration. What is your consideration?
Yeah. So well said. We have so much more that we could talk about. Honestly, I was thinking about this before. I was like, maybe we should do more than one like debrief show, or like more than one like conversation like this, because there's so much that can come through during a session, and then there's like, all the thoughts that come afterwards and the continued downloads. And I just feel like there's so much that that we can talk about and unpack and like delve into deeper.
The more you, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, the more we talk about things, I'm either getting new information or I can feel the channel of energy opening up, as I'm sure you have too, talking about it. It's like more information starts flowing through your higher self, future self. It's all kind of multi-dimensional self. It's all happening at once anyways. But it's like that door's already been opened, so we can walk through it. It's still got information that flows. Absolutely. If you want to do another session on this, we can see what other things we can delve into, even from the first one as well, from your conversation. If there's more things that you've had since then, very happy to speak here.
Awesome. We'll talk. And let us know, guys, if there are, because this is a Future Vision series that we're doing, and so we do have our next one slotted in. We're going to explore with Ann Jersh, our wonderful mentor and friend. So we're going to take her 5 years ahead, I think 5 and 10 years ahead, and checking into a few different things in that time frame. But if you guys have like topics or questions or things that you're curious about, how could that evolve? What are you guys seeing from the future? Let us know. I mean, because it's certainly something that we are doing this to help the collective. We are doing this to help you all. And so if there's something on your heart that you want us to explore, let us know. We're certainly willing to hear you out and see how that might fit in. Jennifer, any last thoughts before we go today?
You wrapped it up lovely. I just thank you for your wonderful audience. Thank you for tuning in. And I really trust those that have turned up and that are listening and you resonate. It will help you in some way. It may not. It may help you, and it may also help your family and the other people that follow after you as well. It's not just a you thing; it's a we thing. You have to start with I.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to Jennifer's audience as well. I think we're simulcasting this, right? Love you all. Appreciate you all, and excited to see you guys next time. We'll plan our next little chat around this, and then look out for end of February is when we're going to be end of February, beginning of March, somewhere in there, we're going to drop the and session. And so that's going to be really fun. What else? I feel like make sure you grab your dragon tickets to that event. And then I have another full session coming out next or later this week that I'm really excited about. So stay tuned for that. Anything coming up for you, Jennifer, that you want to plug?
I have, so I've created a Botanical Sanctuary Circle, which encapsulates all of the wisdom and knowledge that I'm learning gardening with Gaia, and also observing people and myself, as well as learning how to use essential oils and botanics to make your life better, basically. So that's a space I've recently created, and we do live Q&As and put some interesting bits in there. So that's on my Ko-fi channel, ko-fi. Anyway, you'll find it, and then it's in the thing. I don't want to get any bad marks for you for YouTube. So
right,
look in the description below.
Yeah, definitely encourage that. Because the more that we choose that conscious community and we start to build that both in person and virtually through the quantum, like we're laying the groundwork for this future that we're building. And it really is about those small moments, those the ways that you live each day. And I certainly know, like, looking at the big picture, it can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes it can be a little like, oh my God, what are we doing? How are we doing this? How are we ever going to get there? But those are the moments that I definitely encourage you, like, tap into your higher self, like, get quiet, say, hey, go take a bath or like a shower, or, go out in nature, like find someplace that helps you to connect and ask for that support, ask for that encouragement. Even just this morning, I had like a question, and I was like, oh, should I wait and ask Corbin? No, I'm going to ask my higher self. And so I got quiet and I asked my higher self, and I got the answer, and I felt good about it. So it's about choosing those things moment to moment and understanding that this really is like a dance. We're ebbing and flowing and cyclically moving upwards towards that beautiful high vibe future that we all dream of, that we can feel, right? You can feel it, that this is coming, and don't let the fear mongering make you think that it's not coming, because it is.
Yeah, start living it now as if it already exists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, we've rambled enough. Love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.
Bye.